Have you ever wondered why some people light up every room they walk into? You know, those people who can make even the most boring topics sound fascinating. Well, here's a secret. The most interesting advice is at the very end of this video, and trust me, you'll want to stay till the end for it. Alright, so how can you be that person in conversations? Let's start with one simple tip. Ask questions. But not just any questions. Ask questions that make the other person think. Instead of saying, "How's work?" try, "What's the most exciting thing you're working on right now?" This kind of question does two things. It shows genuine interest and keeps the conversation flowing. Have you ever noticed how people love to talk about their passions? That's what you want to tap into. Now, think about the last conversation you had. Did you ask any interesting questions? If not, here's your chance to level up. Next tip, share stories. People remember stories, not facts. So whenever you share something, try to tell a quick story. For example, instead of saying, "I love coffee," you could say, "I once traveled 3 hours just to try a coffee shop in another city. Best decision of my life. See the difference?" A story makes you memorable. How often do you tell stories in your conversations? Even if they're small, adding that personal touch makes all the difference. Another thing, energy attracts energy. If you're excited about what you're saying, the other person will be too. Even if the topic is something simple, your enthusiasm can make it interesting. For example, talking about your favorite book, show why it excites you. Enthusiasm is contagious. Have you ever been in a conversation where the other person's excitement made you more interested? That's the power of enthusiasm. Now let's not forget one of the most underrated skills: active listening. To be interesting, you also need to make the other person feel interesting. How? By genuinely listening. Nod, ask follow-up questions, and show that you're paying attention. Ever notice how good it feels when someone truly listens to you? Do the same for others. And finally, here's the most important tip that will make you fascinating in any conversation. Ready for it? Be curious. When you're genuinely curious about other people, you'll never run out of things to talk about. People can sense when you're truly interested in them, and that's what draws them in. Think about it. The most magnetic conversationalists aren't the ones who talk about themselves. They're the ones who make others feel heard and valued. So next time, be curious, ask, listen, and learn. That's the secret to being endlessly interesting. Now here's a challenge for you. In your next conversation, try these tips. Ask better questions, tell stories, show enthusiasm, listen actively, and most importantly, be curious. Then come back and re-watch this video to reinforce these habits. Let's see how much your conversations improve. Remember, being interesting isn't about having all the answers. It's about being engaged and curious. Try it out and let me know how it goes in the comments.